In a ridiculous turn of events, Wizards of the Coast has managed to take the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Championship and turn it into an unmitigated disaster.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends, I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered to gawk at the absurdity of the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Championship. This is an event with $450,000 in prizes that features the cream of the crop. When it comes to Magic players, you've got the MPL, you've got the Rival League. Like, this is the it event. And Wizards of the Coast just completely ruined it. So, let me put something up on the screen for you here. This is an announcement made by Wizards of the Coast. Now, we're going to go through the announcement, and then I'm going to break things down point by point, show you the cards, and explain why this is such a massive disaster. So, what you're seeing here is a forum post. Bear in mind, you'd have to dig into a forum to find this. So, it's from an official Wizards of the Coast employee, and it says the following. Ahead of this weekend's event, and following the deck submission deadline, we became aware of a bug that will likely come up in some matches. If Shatterskull Smashing or Magma Opus has multiple targets for divided damage, and then any target of any spell or ability becomes illegal while the Smashing or Opus remains on the stack, the damage spell will incorrectly fail to deal damage to any of its targets. This happens in all cases where the damage is split across multiple targets, and it does not occur if there is a single target for damage. In Magma Opus's case, as long as its targets are not made illegal, the spell will do as much as possible. Tap permanents, create a 4/4, draw 2 cards, but the damage will not be dealt. Both Shatterskull Smashing and Magma Opus are being played by multiple players in this event, as are cards that grant individual permanents and creatures hexproof, Snakeskin Veil, Tamiyo's Safekeeping, etc. As such, we wanted to let players know about this likelihood as soon as we could after being made aware. We'll return to that. Unfortunately, we will not be able to fix this bug ahead of the event, and players should be aware of this bug. As there is no direct fix, our policy for this weekend is players will play the result as Arena interprets it. Players negatively affected by this will be emailed with instructions on what to do if this comes up in a match. So, some of you may not have fully grasped the import of what I've just read to you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 cards up on the screen. The Magma Opus, the Shatterskull Smashing, and Hanada, because Hanada is incredibly affected by what's going on here, but other players will be as well. So, we have a situation like this. We're dealing with the cards Magma Opus and Shatterskull Smashing. We're dealing specifically with the fact that they deal damage to multiple targets. So, if you are using these spells to hit one target, you don't have to worry about this bug affecting you. However, as soon as you try and use either of these spells on more than one target at a time, if one of those targets becomes an illegal target for the spell, it will not deal damage to any of them. So to give you a simple example, picture you have the Magma Opus in your hand. It deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. So let's say, for example, your opponent had 4 1/1 creatures out, and you go, oh, this is going to be a great deal for me. I will just go 1 damage to each of these 4 creatures. Great, I'm going to get a 4 for 1. What value? But then the other player turns around and goes, I'm going to give one of my 1/1s hexproof. Now, normally what would happen in a game of Magic is it would go, okay, that hexproof guy doesn't get targeted, but the other 3 guys are still legal targets, and they're all going to take a point of damage, right? But the bug makes it so because the one is no longer a legal target, none of them take any damage. So each one of those 1/1s would survive and 0 damage would be dealt across the creatures. And it works the same way with Shatterskull smashing. Now, obviously, this is a huge problem if you are using Magma Opus or the smashing, right? Because if your opponents know about this, they can maneuver around it. It's not just hexproof. Let's say you have a token out, you have those 4 tokens out, you just sacrifice one. You've got one of those black spells, say sack a creature, draw some cards, boom, you sack one of those tokens, same conditions are met. That spell does no damage across the board. You're targeting a bunch of my guys, I guess I'll just bounce one back to my hand with Fading Hope. Guess what? Again, you're in a situation where one of the targets has been made illegal, and as a result, now nobody takes damage. So this nerfs these cards in a very noticeable way. You can see in the announcement that Wizards of the Coast expects to see these cards showing up in the event. It says, both Shatterskull Smashing and Magma Opus are being played by multiple players in this event, and as are cards that grant individual permanent hexproof. So they're aware that all the conditions for this exist, and there are a ton of people playing red-blue. So there's going to be a bunch of people with bounce, instant spot removal, things, boom, 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 get rid of creatures at the right time to invalidate the entire card. And there are decks that are purely based around this. The reason I put Hanada Dawn Crowned up there is at least 8 or 9 people who are specifically playing a Hanada deck. Now look at the ability that says spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each target. The entire deck is built around the fact that you can get extra advantage off of these spells by making them cheaper. The more targets you're hitting, the cheaper the spells get. So you're getting a Magma Opus or a Smashing at a discount price. And they're both really expensive spells to cast normally because what you get from them is a really good deal. So Hanada works great with these. Now all of a sudden, oh, you're playing the Hanada deck? Well, these cards don't work the way that they were intended. Now you'll be punished. The whole point of Hanada is trying to hit as many targets as possible, right? Whereas this is like, no. If you just use it on one permanent, then it's fine and you don't have to worry about it. Just pick one target. So the Hanada decks are being punished. And the thing is, none of the players in this event are allowed to change their decks. You've registered your deck. You have to play with this deck list. This is absolutely unfair to the players who are locked into this. Every player should have been given the ability to basically submit a new deck. You can't do it where you go, okay, only the affected players can submit a new deck, because then all of a sudden they know what the meta is going to be. They know what everybody's playing. But in this case, they just go, you know what? You're hosed. You deal with it. These players are getting nailed by it. So I want to return to the first sentence here, actually combined with a little bit of the later sentence. So the first sentence in the announcement says, ahead of this weekend's event and following the deck submission deadline, we became aware of a bug. Okay, this combined with, where was the other one? We wanted to let players know about this likelihood as soon as we could after being made aware. I want you guys to know something. Multiple people have come forth and shown proof that Wizards of the Coast knew about this bug as far back as January, and it was listed on their known bug area in February. So here we are in March, like a day before the event, and they're turning around and telling us, well, before this happened, you read it and you go, it's technically not a lie when they say ahead of this weekend's event and following the deck submission deadline. It's like, really? The first part, ahead of this weekend's event. Yes. You know what? Because you found out months ago. Ahead of the deck submission deadline. Really? Did people have to submit their decks before Kamigawa was like in full flow? It's not true. It's not true, unless they're saying when they say we, maybe they picked 2 guys who work at Wizards. We didn't know about all this stuff that had been reported to you. But either way, this bug had been reported multiple times. There are people online with receipts from customer service showing that they contacted customer service about this. They have known about this for at least a month, if not a month and a half. And now a day before the championships start, or the weekend of the championships, they quietly put out a forum post going, hey guys, by the way, we really want to make sure everybody knows about this, so we're just posting it here. We're not going to post it like everywhere where everybody will see it. And also, by the way, don't worry if you're playing it, because we got you covered. It says at the end, players negatively affected by this will be emailed with instructions on what to do if it comes up in a match. But it's pretty clear what they're going to do about it, because read the previous sentence. It says, unfortunately, we will not be able to fix this bug ahead of the event, and players should be aware of this bug. As there's no direct fix, our policy for this weekend is players will play the result as Arena interprets it. So basically, for this event, those are the rules of the event. So Anybody who doesn't take advantage of this bug is essentially being a fool. If you're playing in this tournament, you want to win. You're going to use every advantage. By Wizards saying this is how Arena interprets it, you are no longer cheating by doing that. You're just using the modified rule set that is heavily slanted against anybody who happens to be playing red-blue. Now, this compromises the integrity of the tournament. Very, very clearly, you've hobbled a number of competitors to start with. So you've just gone, you know what? Your cards don't work that way. And unfortunately, we've only had a month and a half where we didn't do anything about it. So you're going to have to eat it, basically, right? That is absolutely absurd. And on top of that, I don't know if you've ever won an event where things were called into question, but it really takes a lot of luster away from a win when you go, I dominated the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Championships. Oh, okay, did you do it by cheesing the bug that Wizards did? Was the competition fair? Like, not only does it hose the people who are playing the cards, but it hoses everybody in the event by diminishing the event. And it is literally peak Wizards of the Coast when it comes to Arena and what's going on right now. I actually just uninstalled Arena this week because the bugs were driving me crazy. All these, we're going to put you into a black screen. It's going to hold you there for a while. Then we're going to take you to a loading screen where it rotates through. Then we're going to take you to another black screen. I don't have a bad internet connection. I don't have a slow computer. And it's just all these little things start to stack up. But Arena was literally causing other programs on my computer to start malfunctioning. So I had to uninstall it. I'm at that point where Arena's already mega buggy. So you've got Wizards of the Coast with buggy Arena. They don't want to put money into fixing things. It doesn't feel that way at all. What are they focused on right now? They're like, we'll get this all fixed in time for Kamigawa Alchemy. They're way more interested in shoving new cards on us. These are problems with cards from Zendikar and Strixhaven. They've known about them for a month and a half, and they won't even fix them for a $500,000 tournament. That shows you their priorities. They don't care about keeping Arena stable, and they most assuredly don't care about the pro players. Obviously, the writing is on the wall in terms of that. The MPL is pretty much over. Same with the Rivals League. So at this point, Wizards of the Coast probably went, oh, there's a bug with the big Arena event. Oh, for the champions? Oh, who cares? You know, whatever. We're done with them anyways. They should be happy with the money we're putting on the table. We're not spending another penny to make the client playable. We're definitely not going to, in one of our biggest profile events that we're doing in recent times, we're not going to put the care in to make sure that it functions. They literally had bug reports and all this stuff. And then at the last minute, somebody probably went, oh, hey, wait, did you notice that there's a bunch of people playing those bugged cards? Like, oh, we better put out a forum post where we like, Magic players need to be made aware of this. We'll just put a forum post down over here. Like, it's just, this is how they operate. It's absolutely absurd. They want you to pour tons of money into it. Come on into Arena, dump your money and they're gonna know your name, and you won't own any cards, you can't trade them, you can't do anything with them, and our platform will just make your cards unplayable. And since they're unplayable, we'll just go, that's how Arena interprets it, that's the rules. Also, don't worry, we'll tell you what to do if you're negatively affected. Contact customers. That's what I picture. I picture a pro player contacting customer service going, I was affected by the Shatter Skull bug, and then customer service will just send them the generic templated response. We're very sorry to hear about your experience with Magic Arena, and we value you as a player. Please find enclosed a code for 400 gems, 300 gold, and a common style. We hope this resolves your issue and you continue to play Arena, because we definitely won't be doing anything else for you. Like, that's the level this comes across as. They knew about it so far in advance. It hoses people's decks. They won't let them do anything about it. They're giving an inherent advantage to the people who are using other decks. It's like, it's something you would expect to see from a brand new company, not a $1 billion company. There is no excuse for it. Like, there is genuinely no excuse. People are literally popping up going, I told them about it a month ago. Here's the receipt saying they know about it. Here's proof that they literally listed they know about it. And then they go, hey guys, we just found out. It's like a barn is set on fire. And a month after it's burned down, hey guys, we heard there might be a fire or something, so you know what? Get some marshmallows. We sent you an email telling you how you can cook marshmallows on the barn fire. That is our format. It's I don't know, man. It's pretty amazing. have to laugh at it because otherwise I just get too angry. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a couple ways to go with this where you get so worked up. It's like, can't you care a little? Can't you guys just care a little? I love this game. I want to have a good time with it. I don't want to be ranting and raving, but this is absolutely disastrous and embarrassing. Wizards of the Coast should be embarrassed, but they won't even care. We'll have a chuckle about this. It'll get swept under the rug. A year from now, nobody will even know what MPL is. My Little Ponies or something? That's what they'll think, right? I don't know. Anyway, it's been an absolute debacle. We needed to historically record it for good times. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, my friends. Big shout out to my patrons, the most lovely people on the planet. And I will see you, my friends, in the next video.